The Protectors of the Wood podcast. Everything is at stake. This podcast tells the story of misfit teenagers struggling to band together to help our world through this crisis. Episode number 8, Abby's Secret Garden. Abby leads Phoebe to her garden in the heart of the forest. Abby waited for a moment silently, observing the way they had come. Then, apparently satisfied, she moved quickly into the forest. Phoebe struggled to keep up. A few times, Abby ducked low under pine branches, and twice she even crawled.
And I thought I would just stroll to town and back again. Oh, please, help my knee. I've got to go slower. If only I had my brace. Abby's almost out of sight. I don't dare yell. But she never looks back to see me. She moves like she's on skates. I'll never keep up.
They walked over springy brown pine needles that left no trace of a footprint. After finding her way past enormous pine trees, Phoebe saw a sprawling clump of mountain laurel ahead, but Abby was not there.
The idea that I could ever repeat this route we're taking is ridiculous. I have no idea where we are. And these trees are so dense. It's so dim. I'll never find my way back.
Phoebe! Phoebe, over here!
Phoebe almost lost Abby's soft voice in the wind.
She's behind those bushes. I'm sorry. I should have warned you. My knee makes me very slow. I destroyed it playing soccer. It's hard for me.
Oh, no apology. You've got guts. For our job, I'll take you over the best athlete in the world. Can you crawl?
Slow, but I've done it twice already.
I'll watch for you.
Phoebe tried to follow Abby closely. Her knee ached, but the ground had leveled off, and she saw blue sky through the trees, and even had a glance at the rocky cliffs. They slid through interlaced branches and reached a barrier of thorny brush and vines. Abby got down almost on her belly and crawled through a tunnel of overgrown brambles, sliding branches to the side along the way.
Guts. I'm going to need them now. Here we go.
Watch out. Poison ivy.
Thank God I've got my long sleeve shirt. I can wriggle like a snake. It's dark under here. Those thorns are sharp. Light at the end of the tunnel.
When Phoebe could stand, she found herself on a little peninsula of land, jutting out over a swamp that lay between them and the sheer rocky sides of the Half Moon Cliffs. The view of the cliffs and the mighty horn, the tower that loomed over Half Moon Valley, was extraordinary.
Whoa! I can't believe this.
Abby smiled.
I guess you've never seen it like this before. And you thought you knew this part of the world.
And look, what are these plants? Those are apple trees and tomatoes and What do you call those tall red stalks with such a giant head of seeds? Is this your garden?
Yes, this is my garden. Mine and the raccoons, and a few deer call it their own.
Look, the crows have followed us.
They're my chaperones, to make sure I'm okay.
Abby quietly led the way around this small piece of land, sealed off by a wall of thorns and vines. Phoebe walked the small paths and saw vegetables that grew up on grids made of branches. The plants were not in any sequence she could understand, but she recognized tomatoes like those ripening on Penny's porch, and beans, cucumbers, green and yellow and tan squashes peeking out from under enormous leaves, and dwarf apple and peach trees. Pole beans grew up stalks of corn. The sun blazed down on this secret refuge.
Abby, I'm overwhelmed. Your garden is beautiful.
Abby looked around proudly.
Yeah, I love it here. And I almost get all my food from here.
But it doesn't look like a regular garden.
Nope, and I don't want it to. It's hidden. From the cliffs, it's hard to tell what it is. And I like to work it this way, opening a space and planting what I need. It was easy. The soil is shallow but rich. There were no big trees.
Abby stopped near a row of vines with small, yellow, star-shaped flowers growing up a grid of branches. She broke off 2 long, shiny green cucumbers. She rolled the vegetables in her hands and then opened a jackknife and cut off the tops. The knife seemed to appear from nowhere.
Have you tried one of these? They'll quench your thirst.
Cucumbers? Quench my thirst?
These are a special kind called lemon cukes. You drink them. Watch.
Abby held up the cuke like a glass of water and squeezed it, holding it to her lips. Phoebe tried hers and drew out a sweet liquid with a smell like cucumbers and a lemony flavor. It had the consistency of slush, like a snow cone, but without the crunchiness of ice. By squeezing the cucumber, her mouth was flooded with the drink.
These are incredible. Why doesn't everyone sell them?
Well, maybe they will soon. We're starting to go public with them.
And what are those tall red plants? Like giant red corn stalks with those heavy heads of seeds. I keep staring at them. They sway in the breeze like they're alive.
Amaranth, my favorite plant.
I think Penny uses some part of it in her bread.
The seeds. I use it for my snacks. Popped amaranth and honey. My traveling food. Here, I've got one left.
Abby searched her pocket and handed Phoebe what looked like a bar of sesame seeds. Phoebe blew some crumbs away and took a bite. It was sweet, both chewy and crunchy.
Nice. I like it.
She ate the rest and wished there were more. The tall plants swayed in the breeze, their heads bobbing like chanting figures in a ceremony. It was mesmerizing. Dark clouds were coming up the valley. The sun was already moving into the west.
I've got to get you back. I've got a ways to go before dark. There's a storm coming.
But wait. I don't understand all this. Why is it such a secret? Where did you find these plants?
You really don't see?
She looked at Phoebe as if she could hardly believe her ignorance.
Okay, I'll show you one more thing. Let's see what you think.
They walked back toward the wall of brambles. And there, amid rows of low green vines growing on small mounds, was a beautiful tree with long, shiny green leaves. Many striking yellow and purplish pods with long grooves grew from the trunk and branches. It was not tall, but there was a quality almost royal about the tree. It sat enthroned there, among its subjects. Phoebe looked at Abby, expecting her to say something, but she only looked back and smiled.
We've got the mountains and hills for company. We've got the clouds and the storms and a billion stars to see. We've got the rain and streams and rivers and the sea. And with the children running round us, it's heaven all for free. It's heaven all for free, right here and right now. It happens all around us, no one knows how. It may take a million years to build the house of God. We can start right here. We can start right now. We can start right here. We can start right now.
Thanks for listening to the Protectors of the Wood podcast. Find all our podcasts, songs, and projects on our website, protectorsofthewood.com. And to all the eco-warriors out there, remember that everyone can make a difference, and every action counts.